Guys, there's something missing on the 2025 Hyundai Kona. Can you guess what it is?
I'm not gonna spoil it.
Well, spoiler alert, it's a spoiler, it's gone. But you still wanna watch this video because we're gonna give you everything there is to know about the 2025 model, what it comes with, the price point, and of course, what it's equipped with powertrain-wise and tech-wise. Last year, the Kona went through a major makeover. We completely redesigned everything. We have new powertrain as well too, and there's a lot to know about this car. So if you want to be the expert on all things Kia and Hyundai, keep watching. More specifically, the Hyundai Kona.
And more specifically, make sure you subscribe.
Yes.
If you guys haven't picked up on it now, these videos are live streamed every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or at least every day of the week. And we do them in real time, so it's one take. That way you guys can ask us your questions and we can answer them for you. If you're watching this after it's already been posted, leave a comment down below if you still have questions, but also like and subscribe.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. So we'll start off with the front end of this vehicle. Now this paint color is called Cyber Gray, and the trim level we're showing today is the N-Line Ultimate. Now this is the highest trim level you can get here in Canada. It's about $3,000 more than the traditional N-Line, or I shouldn't say traditional, the lower N-Line. This vehicle is going to come equipped with some of the top-notch tech and safety that we just don't see on the other trim levels, and it's going to have a different look. The look is going to remain the same on the N-Line except for one thing, which I'll point out on the back. For the front end, you're going to have this brand new look. You get this full LED strip style daytime running light. It's extremely bright and extremely sharp and really makes this vehicle have a funky look that stands out from the rest of the crossover crowd. You get a little bit more body color down here, and if you take a look, we got a forwards facing camera. Now that camera is actually going to do quite a bit on this vehicle. If I were to just be slowly driving my vehicle, think a parking style situation, and I pick up something with my front parking sensors, that's going to work hand in hand with this camera here. It's going to trigger the camera and show me inside the cabin what's going on around my car, more specifically in the front if I'm going forwards with the vehicle. The same is going to be true for backing up. A lot of us are used to having backup cameras in this car, but this vehicle takes it a couple steps further by combining 4 different cameras, all of their footage to give you a full 360 view. And Charlotte will show that when we hop inside. We got a little bit of gloss black right over here in your front bumper, and that is of course going to be housing those forwards facing parking sensors. So you can kind of see them hidden along there. It's really nice how they're color matched so they don't stick out like a sore thumb, and the vehicle still has that beautiful, clean, sporty look. Your lower grille is going to have a nice, almost honeycomb-esque finish, and right in the very center, it's housing your forward-facing radar sensor. This radar sensor is going to be used for a couple different things. On some of the lower line trim levels, you'll have it used for things like your forward collision avoidance or your smart cruise control. Because we got the N-Line Ultimate here today, you're going to have an additional safety function, which is called Highway Drive Assist. Essentially, it's still a smart cruise control, so it'll slow you down, take you to a stop, and get you going again, but it's also going to have navigation data, so it'll know the speed limit of the road that you're on, if there's any interchanges or passes, and adapt to all of those things. Now, it's not going to do a full self-drive, it won't do a full turn for you, but it still does a lot. It'll change the speed for you, and of course, make sure you're always at a safe distance. So we like to see that. Again, just a little bit more sporty detailing on this specific vehicle. So on the N-Line, you'll have the N-Line badge just off to the side. There we go. It stands out, and there's definitely a lot more gloss black and body color accents as opposed to plastics that we see on the other trim lines. I'm going to pop the hood and talk about the powertrain because this vehicle is also going to come with a more robust engine. If you're someone who likes a little bit more pep in their vehicle step, but you definitely don't want to sacrifice too much at the fuel pump, this is a great powertrain. It's a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. So it's gasoline direct injection, hydraulic hood, which is always nice to see. And this powertrain is going to give you 190 horsepower with 195 pound-feet of torque. Now this vehicle, again, it's not a rocket. It's not going to be the full Kona N, but it is still plenty peppy and very, very efficient. Now combined, the fuel efficiency rating is about 9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is fairly good. And this is an all-wheel drive crossover, which it's verging more towards the SUV. I will say it's very spacious in there, and we have a lot more room than we did in the previous body style. So we're excited to have Charlotte show that when we hop inside. Take a look at the wheels. I know I should be showing on the other side of the car, but it's okay. So these are beautiful 19-inch alloys. They are exclusive to the N-Line and N-Line Ultimate. You do have your N badge in the very center cap. And just a quick thing about this N badge. no one's ever asked, but I feel like telling you guys. The actual shape of the N is inspired by a racetrack, the Nürburgring, which is iconic. Now these vehicles, more specifically I should say the full N models, the N in Elantra N, Kona N, Veloster N stands for Nanyang, which is the region in Korea where these vehicles are designed, but also the Nürburgring, which again is the iconic racetrack in Germany where the vehicles are tested and proven to be track-ready cars. Now you might not see these ones on the track too much, but they are again a lot more fun to drive and definitely have a completely different feel than the rest of the Kona lineup. For your tires, you just have a traditional all-season tire. And one thing I love about this is that your wheel arches are color matched. You don't have that almost plastic armor style that we see on things like the Preferred, which, I mean, you may be a fan of or you may not. This definitely is a little bit more of a sleek look. There's N-Line badging on the fender flares, right there. A nice gloss black mirror with the turn signal indicator and a blind spot camera. So the blind spot camera is just one of the many cameras utilized in your full 360 view, but it also takes it one step further. Every time I go to signal a turn, whether it be left or right, I'm gonna see exactly what's happening in my blind spot. So if you do live in the city, not only is this car very easy to park and easy to whip around in, you can see exactly what's happening whether it's pedestrians, cyclists, or other cars. It's really, really nice to have. There is a flush style roof rail right up at the top. And the pillars around your window are a nice, just flat plastic. Your door handles are color matched, so nothing too crazy. They don't stick out too much. And you do have digital key to touch. So essentially that's some of our new software which allows you to do proximity entry. So as long as the key's on me, I can walk in, put my hand behind the handle, and lock my car by pressing on the indent. Or I can take it a step further and use my phone to unlock, start, and drive my car. So no keys allowed, or no keys on you at all. It's pretty cool. I don't have it in my personal car, so I can't speak about the everyday practical use, but we have done a video on how to set it up and how to use it if you're curious. Now here's where things get different for this year, and I mean different in two ways. There is no spoiler, and if you saw my Instagram story, you may have seen that there might be some lore behind this. And the lore, in my opinion, is I think they got rid of the spoiler for the N-Line and the N-Line Ultimate to make way for the upcoming Kona N. Again, not completely confirmed, but it would make sense if they want something to really differentiate the styling. Maybe they're gonna save a nice big spoiler for the full N model. Either way, I'm really bummed out about it, because take a look from the side over here. I don't know, it just feels a little bit naked to me. It's a little bit naked.
I know.
The car is still iconic, it's still a ton of fun, and I really do like it. I just think the spoiler did make a really big difference in the styling department and really separated the N-lines from the other trims.
It just differentiated it a lot more. Like,
yeah.
Like you still get the sporty touches, obviously, with your wheels, the badging and everything like that, but I feel like that was probably the most drastic change.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I love that it's gone or not.
Yeah.
I think I'm sad about it, but if it's in sacrifice for a full
Something
N,
better?
I would really enjoy that.
I shouldn't say something better, something different.
Yeah.
But I really
Speculation,
did
though.
like
Pure
it, and I
speculation.
wish they maybe just did an N-Line exclusive spoiler, even if it
Yeah,
was just
something
a little
different.
bit of
Yeah,
a lip.
I agree with you.
All right, I don't know if you guys caught that, power liftgate. So we didn't have a power liftgate in the past, but we do have it now, so maybe it's a little trade-off for us getting rid of the spoiler, or I shouldn't say us, I had no part in this decision. It is height adjustable, so you can bring it to wherever you like and set it, and it's gonna be saved to that position. So this is better for if you're shorter or maybe taller. You do have this cargo cover that comes integrated with the car. It's very easy to unclip if you're not a fan of it, because this could get in the way if you need something taller. There's no spare tire with the Kona, but you do get a mobility kit. So essentially this is just an inflator with a sealant to plug any holes and get you back on the road. It's nice and quick, but obviously if you experience a blowout, it can't really do much. That's why there's still room for a spare if you choose to get one.
Bro, it's mocking me. There's room for it. It's not there.
Yeah. So there's definitely room for a spare over there, and you do have a little bit of storage on the side if you do want additional space. But I will say Kona really shines because it's not a huge vehicle, but you still have a lot of space. This is a good thing. If you want all-wheel drive, want good tech, and you want a little bit of fun, Hyundai Kona. There's a lot in here. I'll just quickly show the LED light on the side.
Oh, sorry.
During the day, but at nighttime, it really, really does brighten up the space. And then you do have a little bit of clips along the side. If you do have any cargo that you'd like to tie down, make sure it's not rolling around as you're driving. Speaking of driving, this vehicle is actually quite a pleasure to drive thanks to its obviously turbocharged engine, but also the fact that it has a traditional automatic transmission. No more dual clutch. We used to have a dual clutch in the N-Lines of the past. This is definitely going to be a lot smoother, and it makes a lot more sense for the average city day-to-day driving that a lot of our Kona N-Line customers are doing. Another thing that makes it a little bit different than the other vehicles is on the N-Line Ultimate, you're going to get a twin-tip exhaust, and all of our models for the Kona with all-wheel drive are also going to have a rear multi-link suspension. So this vehicle handles very, very nicely. The all-wheel drive system is going to be primarily front wheel, so on a beautiful day like today, there's no sense in using power from the rear. It's just going to waste more fuel. However, if it's a nice snowy, maybe I shouldn't say nice, if it's a snowy day or you drive onto a gravel, muddy, dirt road, it will kick in power from the rear wheels. Or if you're feeling a little quick and you step on it, it will of course launch your vehicle with a little bit more power from the rear as well too. So a couple things there. All right, let's take a look inside. Charlotte's gonna take over, and there is a lot in this vehicle.
So you've seen the sporty accents on the exterior. They're definitely going to continue on the interior, but just because it's sporty and it's taken a bit of a different direction does not mean that you are sacrificing anything in terms of comfort, tech, or safety. Speaking of safety, now for 2025 it is unrated by the IIHS because it's just a new year, but it's the same body style, so I'm going to pull from the 2024 rating, which rates this as a top safety pick plus. There we go. So basically the highest that they can give, which is pretty awesome.
Also, just a moment for Charlotte's outfit. How more
Guys,
perfectly could you match
it's my cyber gray outfit. We're both wearing our grout fits. Who wore best?
A little bit of black accents, some gray.
I know, I need a red belt or something, or a blue belt. Be the end spec. Alrighty, doors, let's talk about them. So let's take a look at what we've got. So everything is pretty much going to be done in a flatter black plastic look, so no shiny piano black, which you know that I love. We have the gunmetal painted door handles, which again looks really great. Love the darker accents to make it feel a bit more sporty. Mirrors, electronically controlled. Windows for the front two are going to be one-touch obstacle detecting, regular automatic, and then of course your window lock too. Down at the bottom, you have a compartment and also bottle holder, which is very nice. And we're operating with a Bose premium sound system in this vehicle with 8 speakers, which you are able to configure like you can with a premium sound system in your screen in your main unit as well. Now we have some other sporty touches on the floor, which I'll point out, such as our door sills. We have checkered flags. We have aluminum sport style pedals, which look really cool, really nice. Whew. And then also our seats are going to be different. So for our driver's seat, you can even see the details on the toggles are different. So regular 8-way power adjustable, and that's going to include 2-way lumbar support. Even if you look at the, I don't know what it's called, it's accenting for the lumbar, it gives that checkered flag appeal, which I think looks really cool.
I thought it was Braille.
It's not. Is it? Is it? I think it looks like a checkered flag.
Blind driver?
We're gonna move on. Am I ignorant? Oh man. Okay, let's take a look at the seats, guys. So you have a nice sporty style seat. It's gonna be a mix of a leatherette and suede with red interior too, or red accenting. And then of course you're gonna have your N badging built into the seat as well. So really love it. I love the mix of the leatherette and the suede. If you think that leather is the end all be all, let me tell you why you're wrong. This is gonna heat up a lot faster in the winter, but it's also not gonna get as hot when it comes to the actual exterior climate, but it's still gonna heat up nice with those heated seats. So love the mix of the leather, and it also kind of holds you in a little bit more too. I'll show this side and then we'll move over. First glimpse at some more of our red accents, and then of course brightness adjuster, traction control, downhill braking assist, your tailgate control, and electronic parking brake. I'll have Gabby come around and we'll be good to go.
Showing you guys the back end again, just so we can all say a little prayer. So there are the hazards. Charlotte's shown. Oh, I also didn't talk about the diffuser. The diffuser is definitely accentuated on the N-Line and the N-Line Ultimate. So again, just to give it that more sporty flair. Can you turn the hazards on one more time, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Right, you can see the turn signal repeaters, which of course will work for signaling a turn, but also hazards. And then up front, I didn't mention the headlights earlier on, but they are full LED, just like your daytime running lights. And the same is true for your positioning lights. These are also active grille shutters, so they'll open and close as needed to allow more cooling into the vehicle. So the car will decide when that does that. As a driver, you won't see it, but believe me.
But you'll know. Just take our word for it. All right, so here you can take a look at the passenger seat. You can get a better view of what it looks like without someone sitting in it. Now for the passenger seat itself, it is a manual seat, so set it and forget it, giving you that true sport feeling of a manual seat. And as you hop in, you can get a good look at just how wide the cabin is, and with the red accents, it really emphasizes that further. I love how we have them stretching all the way across the dash. We've got some red stitching too, and overall, I think that this vehicle does a really good job at staying driver-oriented, but still being comfortable for everyone else involved, which is one of my favorite things about the Kona. So I want to start with the steering wheel. So it is a sport style, which is nice. We have a mix of just regular smooth leather. We have some perforated leather and some end badging down at the bottom. If you're worried, this is not Braille. It is Morse code, 4H for Hyundai. Surprise, surprise. Would have been cool if they did that as an N. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, write that down.
The 2026 Hyundai Kona spoiler is back, and we have an N badge on the steering wheel.
Yeah, guys, that's all we want.
I'm pretty sure Hyundai Canada watches these, so.
If they do. Hey. All right,
notes.
Let's keep taking a look at what we've got. So Gabby mentioned our safety features over here, and here's where you're gonna be able to use them. So whether that's gonna be your cruise control, your lane following distance, your lane keep assist, or you're putting it all together with that highway drive assist, that's gonna be done through over here. This notes icon is going to be used to cycle between your trip computer, so you can see all of the different options there, such as your trip computer, so basically how the vehicle responds to you driving it, your navigation, because we do have integrated nav, and your safety features. Now over here on this side, the right side, you've got your media controls, so that virtual assistant, your media modes, favorites, and calling. Behind us, in that same kind of satin chrome paint, we have paddle shifters, so very nice to work through those 8 gears if you do want to, especially because we have a column-mounted shift-by-wire. So no regular lever gear shift where you can knock it into manual mode. You can't do that with this one. It's just a shift-by-wire column-mounted. So some people love it, some people hate it. Do with that information what you will. Of course, wiper stock, lighting stock, that's pretty straightforward, or actually reverse that, wiper stock, lighting stock, that's pretty straightforward. And then directly in front of me, I'm gonna have this 12.3-inch screen. So that's gonna be digital speedometer and digital tachometer as well. And I really like the look of this. It's great to see that we have this integrated software and that we're operating with some simplified, smooth, sporty graphics. Overall, it looks really good, and I'm amped about this software. Don't know if you guys can tell. So you probably noticed the lack of something, and that is wires. We have no wires in this vehicle because we have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
I was going to say spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, we have no spoilers either, except for what you get. I already mentioned that you have integrated nav, which is exclusive to the N-Line Ultimate trim. And then from here, you can see everything else. So you can jump into your phone projection and see everything here, pop back into Hyundai, and you can also move these around depending on what you prefer. You also have a drop-down menu. So from here, you can further customize it with your favorite items, just as a nice quick control. Setup is when you're going to be able to go and configure all of your safety features and your navigation, everything along those lines. So from here you can see all of those safety features. The nice thing is each of them is going to give a description, so you're not blindly turning things on or off. You're going to know what you're doing. Also, we're going to have ambient lighting in this vehicle, and from here you actually have a color wheel with 64 different options that you can configure. So I think I'm going to go for blue. Gonna go for blue.
That's what it looks like.
And that's gonna bring, you know, it's gonna bring it all together. We got the red accents, now we've got the blue accents, now we've got everything together.
It's very Spider-Man.
It is very Spider-Man. It's very Kona N-Line Ultimate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember what we're doing. So again, love this software, head over heels in love with it. And then down below, I think that this is a really good setup because you're not using anything digital, which a lot of people tend to like real buttons and real dials. So we still have all of that here, and everything is going to do what it says with the inclusion of the search function, which you can use for navigation, contacts, media. You want to search it, you can do it. You can type it in. And then real climate control as well. So we actually have dual zone climate control, which is very nice. So one for me, one for Gabby. And then from here, everything else, again, very straightforward. You can sync your climate control, front and rear defrost, auto, recirculated air. Now this item, it's not illuminated right now, but it actually has 3, you can see it a little bit on camera, but it's gonna give you 3 seatbelt indicators to let you know which seatbelts in the second row are in use and which ones are not. So if you've got kids back there, you know who's using it. And then down below, if you do want to operate with a wired connection, you have a USB-C to do so, and another USB-C for charging, a 12-volt, and a wireless phone charger, which my phone is reaping the benefit of. Now, I already talked about these seats, and let me tell you, they get better. We have heated and ventilated seats in the front. You also have a heated steering wheel with 2 levels of heat. You're going to have auto hold, your parking sensors, and also your rear view camera. I'm just going to put the vehicle back into accessory mode, because in the center, we actually have our drive and terrain modes. So drive modes. You can take a look at them there, and you can actually link ambient lighting to these as well. You have two options. You have normal and sport. So sport, as the name implies, is going to give you a little bit more of a sportier response. It's going to change the shift points of your vehicle, and again, just increase that throttle response, tighten up your steering a little bit, and sometimes, depending on how you drive, it can negatively affect your fuel economy if you're heavy on the throttle. So maybe keep it in normal mode. You also have designated terrain modes, so snow, mud, and sand. And again, these are going to work with your transmission. They're going to work with your traction control. They're going to work with stability control to send basically the right amount of torque to the wheels, which is very nice to see. So whether, depending on the situation, it can help you with your wheel spin or decrease wheel spin for you. So nice to see that, the fact that we have those on this vehicle too. Now, Gabby showed us all of the cameras on the exterior of the vehicle. Let's take a look at all of them pieced together. So here you can see your 360, and then we're also using the front camera to take a look right now. You have tons of different views, as you can see. Very cool. And then also your rear view camera. So this is what's going to come up when you put the vehicle into reverse. And again, you can still see everything pieced together, and you have all of those different views as well. And then you have another view. So if you want it to look like you are staring at your vehicle from inside your vehicle, you have that too.
You guys see those fender flares or the wheel arches, how they're the plastic molding? That's a lower line Kona that they're showing in there.
And that's not even available on it.
I know. Isn't that crazy? That's wild.
That is crazy.
Hyundai, what?
Hyundai, yeah. You also have your parking sensors, so if you do want to momentarily turn them off, you can simply press on, or right now you can have them on. Huge center console here, which I really like. You have tons of space, and that's because we have moved the shifter to column mounted, and you have guillotine style cup holders. So they can hug it, or if you have something really big, it can fit in here too. Probably like a tablet honestly would fit in there.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is where I got beef. Gabby knew it was coming. So I really like the Kona. This is one of the things that I'm not crazy about because you don't have very much hidden.
Hold on. Okay, sorry.
Did that work?
Continue. No.
Okay. You don't have too much hidden storage in this. This is really the only amount of enclosed storage, which personally I find leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. But you still do have under here, and if you push it back far enough, it is going to be covered. It's just, I wish that it was almost built in, but that's just me.
We get it.
A lot of people are fine. Egg-shaped key, which is very cool, fun for the kids. You have integrated remote start, but you have a couple other features on it too. So from here, you can actually open up your tailgate, and you also have remote smart park assist. So you can actually bring the vehicle forward or backwards utilizing just the key fob.
We will show that in today's video. We always say that and then we forget.
We'll do it.
If not,
keep watching this to the end.
Someone remind us.
Yeah, please. Glove box review. You have upstairs semi-glove box, which you can put your sunglasses on. Glove box, nice. Up top, black headliner. You do have blue link in this vehicle as well. And you have a wide style sunroof. Very nice. Actually, I shouldn't have to do that. Yeah, there we go. With a bug net. Bug net. Nice.
No bugs.
No bugs.
All right, back seats.
Back seat review. So Hyundai does a really good job at still keeping with amenities in the second row. So I like that we still have the mix of the leather, we still have the suede. Very nice. We have rear vents, which if you know me, you know that is a non-negotiable to get some climate control, some airflow back here. You even have dual USB-Cs. You have one pocket, and you have an adjustable armrest with cup holders integrated as well. Decent amount of space back here when you're sitting in the two main seats. Pretty big and wide style hump, I'd say. So definitely my knees are a lot closer to my chest when I am sitting here. I wouldn't put your tallest passenger here, but I've sat in worse. This is pretty decent, I'd say.
How do you think it compares to the Seltos?
The Seltos? Well, I think with the inclusion of the power liftgate, it's going to bring it a lot closer. Now, I will say, depending on what your style is these vehicles are going to go head to head. I find that Hyundai tends to go more for the city sleek look with the sporty accents, whereas Kia tends to lean more towards a traditional appearance with a more rugged appeal. So depending on what you like, you're going to be able to find feature-wise, power-wise, pretty comparable.
Right, I think we should demonstrate remote smart park.
Yeah, and the cameras. I didn't show blind view monitor. Should I show that?
Hold on, I'm just showing Tim right now.
Hey.
You guys still shooting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Ow. I just smacked my head on the car.
I love that for you.
All right, I'll quickly show the cameras. So blind view, left and right, and that of course shows everything that's happening in your blind spot. Oh, sometimes it's scary.
Jump scare.
Now I'll quickly turn off the car and show you guys remote smart park assist. So we're outside the car now. The car is off, even though the lights are still on. I'm gonna hit the lock button. See if it'll focus. The lock button. Then I'm gonna hit the remote start button until the lights flash and the engine turns over. There we go. Then on the side, oh my gosh, I hope this focuses. We have a forwards button and a back. I'm gonna move the car forward. So you gotta be within range of the vehicle. Lights will turn on, and the car is moving forward on its own. None of us are in there, but it won't hit anything because it's got sensors. All right, now we'll move it back. You'll see how close it got without hitting. And there she goes.
Bye.
All on its own. They grow up so fast. Now, Charlotte, we didn't answer the price question, I don't think, in this video. Do you want to give us the MSRP?
$38,749.
Perfect.
So that is with the inclusion. So the N-Line is going to be $3,000 less. So what, $35,749?
Yep.
Plus $3,000 for the ultimate package. Guys, can you tell I haven't done math in a while?
When school finished, so did math.
Yeah, I was out.
All right, oh, car's locked.
At least it's not the child lock this time.
Yeah. The last few live streams we've done on our SUVs, the child lock's been on. So every time we finish our Q&A, we can't get out of the car. It's very humbling. Okay. Let me put that
Going to live chat.
Okay. Q&A time. Let's see what's up. I'm
Charlotte
scared.
sits in the car seat like a prisoner setting down to dinner. I do what I can, babes. Oh, snooches.
All right. It's always scary opening this chat. I didn't see that many questions. I will not lie. I want to know if you guys are upset about the spoiler being gone or not, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of employees at our Hyundai store were pretty heartbroken about it. Billy, I know if you're watching this, she bought one last year, which was the perfect time to get one because no spoiler now. But what about the downforce, you guys? So what's the major difference between this and a 2024 other than the spoiler? So the price is a little bit different, and also the rear liftgate is now powered. Would you say the Kona has better features than the Elantra facelift? Absolutely, I do think it has better features because the Elantra, it got a little bit of a style difference, but the tech is still the same. So it doesn't have the new software, it doesn't have over-the-air updates, it doesn't have digital key to touch, that kind of thing. But once the Elantra gets that, it's going to really come down to what vehicle you like more drive-wise, size-wise, price-wise, and yeah, I guess just space-wise too.
Yeah.
One's an SUV or crossover, and one's a compact sedan.
Yeah. Alan said sunroof is quite big for a non-panoramic. Yes, it definitely is. It's definitely wider than what we've seen previously.
Going back to the top. Where's the spare? Couldn't they spare a spare? Yeah, so a lot of vehicles in the compact or more so, yeah, I should just leave it off with compact segment. They do not have spares anymore. So a lot of your sedans that you're going to see now and crossovers like this, they're not going to come with one. A lot of it has to do with weight reduction, but also they want to minimize the amount of time you're actually spending on the road in the event of a tire malfunction, whether you get a flat or a blowout. Now, obviously, if you do get a blowout, you can't do anything with a mobility kit. So there is 5 years and limited kilometers of roadside assistance with your Kia or Hyundai purchase throughout North America. So even if you're on a road trip in the States, or if you're from the States and you're on a road trip in Canada, you're still good.
How's the rear seat legroom compared to the Kia Sportage? So you would be comparing vehicles that are in different size classes. So obviously it's going to be smaller in the Kona than it would be in something like the Sportage. So you're definitely going to have more room and more cargo space in the Kia Sportage.
Any place you recommend to buy a Kia in Vancouver, BC? Unfortunately, I'm not
I
familiar
don't know
with
anyone
any of
out there.
Yeah, I would just call around and see who treats you nicely,
Yeah.
who answers your questions,
And hopefully it's everyone.
Yeah.
But if you're watching our videos, you should know all about these cars, and you'll be able to show them that you're in the know.
If the battery is damaged, how much does it cost to replace it? I heard about 60,000 Canadian for the Ioniq 5.
Y'all
So
ever heard
this
how much?
is-
12 volt.
This is not an electric vehicle, so if you do need a battery replacement, it would be your 12-volt battery, and those, I mean, depending on what you get.
Yeah, if you
$100
want an AGM or something, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just 12 volt. No worries there.
Now, related to an EV like the Ioniq 5, I'm guessing you saw some of the articles from, I think it was around a year ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not realistic at all. No one's paying that amount of money. We have done battery replacements for vehicles like the Suede EV, and a lot of them cost a lot less than an engine replacement on a gas car. So that was a very interesting circumstance on a vehicle that was,
I got
Hello?
a text, guys.
a very interesting circumstance, but all of those have been warrantable now for the most part. That was what interesting circumstance, but I can just say it. We won't talk about that controversy right now, though. Okay. Will you guys both be live tomorrow or just Gabby? You're just wondering. We'll both be live, right?
We'll both be here tomorrow. That's the plan.
That is the plan. How much weight can the SUV pull or tow? So it's actually not rated here in Canada to tow. How's the door panel work in the rear doors? The Corolla I was in was terrible. I mean, like,
Hi.
sorry,
Hi.
sorry, Charlotte. This? I mean, it's pretty straight up. Window, open, storage.
Yeehaw.
There's a little bit of storage here too. I really dislike some cars. They don't actually have a floor here, so you go to put something in there and it falls
Oh, that's
down. So
that's rough.
we've got floor here.
Hi again.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This is the hardest part about it.
Charles asked, does a two-screen dash come in as standard? So the dual 12.3 inch, which is what we see today, is available on the.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, girl.
It's not staying.
You want me just to hold it?
Something's wrong.
Something.
And with that, we're gonna end off today's live stream.
Okay, I'll answer the one question, then we will. Okay. So the two screens that we saw today, this starts on the N-Line, which is just one below this. This is the N-Line with the Ultimate package minus the navigation. And then everything else is going to have the 4.2 inch screen for your instrument cluster, but still the 12.3 inch screen for media. Yeah. Okay.
Does the Kona come in a full N gasoline? Not at this point, but if they do make it, it better have the biggest spoiler I've ever seen.
Downforce.
Because, yeah, we need all the downforce.
Maximum downforce.
And to make up for what happened over
Yeah.
here. Right, you guys.
On
No,
that note.
With that being said, I don't think it's a bad looking car. Just kind of missed the spoiler. I got used to it. Well, let us know what you guys think. Bye.
Smooches. Snooches.
Tim's